Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped. Now then, a few weeks ago, my good mate Sam at SMPS 2012 sent me this box. And in this box is a very cool addition to Mini Roadster, but I don't have the skill to fit it myself, which isn't saying much really. So I've come here to Mulgari to meet my mate Darren, because he can fit what's in this box. But the challenge is there are actually 3 things in this box and we need to choose which one to put on the car. What could it be? Now, hopefully by now you've watched the videos I've done with Darren here at Mulgari, transforming my lovely Mini John Cooper Works Roadster into something very, very special, giving her a bit of a refresh, a bit more love. We've done lots of styling changes. We've changed the colour of the wheels. We put new suspension on. We downgraded the brakes. Darren's put the new tune on the car, which is just so good. This car is so linear, so smooth, and feels way faster than it did before. And then I took the car off to Topaz, who gave it a lovely machine polish and a lovely clean. And I know she's absolutely filthy today, but we have been using her quite a lot. But there were a couple of things that I still quite fancy doing, and one of them was having a look at the steering wheel. And it doesn't take a genius to work out. I have 3 steering wheels in front of me, and Sam from SMPS 2012 has sent me the selection of steering wheels that fit this car and asked which one would I like to fit, and I thought you'd like to see them all. So the reason I'm here is fitting a steering wheel on a car that has an airbag is not something you should do unless you know what you're doing. And luckily, Darren knows what he's doing, so I'll be handing that over to him. But I thought you'd like to see the designs anyway. So, and it's a really difficult one. I'm going to get Darren on camera very shortly to help me with the final decision. But first up, the design, they've got a flat bottom, a nice 12 o'clock stripe, but I've got a combination of colours. So this is the first option we have, which has leather at the 3 and 9 position, and then carbon fibre. Now, the one thing I have about carbon fibre is there's not a great deal of carbon fibre on the car, but it does look really, really cool. And then the centre boss that goes in the middle is Alcantara and a little bit of red stitching and a nice Mini logo. So that is option number 1. Option number 2, now this is a little bit like my Boxster, because this, exactly the same shape and design, but now I've got an Alcantara covering over this. Again, red 12 o'clock stripe, red stitching. I really like that. I guess my only challenge with full Alcantara steering wheel is just the wear that you might get, but that is high on my list of potential options, because I have a full Alcantara steering wheel on my Boxster. I like that a lot. And then the last one is like a combination of those 2. So we've now got Alcantara at 3 and 9 o'clock, and then carbon fibre with a nice red 12 o'clock stripe. And I really like that. And the final bits that go where the cruise control and stereo buttons, and down here, in this bag here, we've got some little carbon trim bits that will make it look nice. So the big question is, which one do I go for? Well, I need an expert to help me out, but I can't find one of them, so I thought I'd get Darren on to see what he thinks.
Hi, mate.
Apparently you've got skill.
No, you've mistaken.
With pyrotechnics.
Enzo? He's got some skill.
He's got more skill than I have, mate.
And me.
So, what do you think?
Lovely. I've known for a while about Sam's beautiful range of steering wheels.
Yeah.
I think it's about time Ruby received one.
Yes.
If you can't make your mind up, we might have to put 2 on it.
Yeah, yeah.
One for the passenger.
I've been in a rally car with 2 steering wheels once.
Yes, not
at Steel Price Rally School. That was
good.
very, very weird.
Scary.
Very weird. So I am torn because the full Alcantara one I really like.
Yeah, agreed. But
oh, I've got one on my Porsche.
I've had many of these different configurations, as you well know.
Yeah.
I think my only difficulty with Alcantara on a daily full coverage is the wear.
Yeah.
And trying to keep on top of it.
Yeah. Me too.
I think for my money at the moment, I'm not a huge fan of perforated leather.
Okay.
I think it's quite a dated finish nowadays. This is something that they used in the 90s a lot on, okay, not always leather, but...
XR3s and stuff.
Yeah, and it makes me think old school.
Sorry, Sam, we're trying to be selling these for you.
Nice steering wheels. I think with the theme that you've got going in Ruby as well, because there's some other Alcantara components in there from pre-me, I think the one closest to you is the best compromise, because you can still use the carbon area, you know, when you are just cruising around, you know, living the dream. But you've still got a nice bit of Alcantara for that nice tactile feel. And of course, which I think you may have missed in your first segment, your airbag cover will match beautifully.
Yes.
I think that's the one. I think for me, that's the combo. That's the one, I think.
That's for the win.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Lovely.
We'll do that then.
Cool. Do you know anyone who could fit it?
No, not really.
Oh God, we're in trouble then.
So I guess it's easy. I did used to change the steering wheel when I had my little 10-inch Momo on my Mark 1 Fiesta.
Oh yeah.
But there's this thing in the way called an airbag.
Yeah, with a pyrotechnic charge in it.
One of the things that Sam does is you buy the steering wheel, but you use the airbag that came off your car.
You use the bag itself off the standard wheel. In this case, we'll be changing the front cover, which is interesting. These are slightly trickier to do than the Gen 3 ones as well, but we'll cover that in a minute. Right. But yeah, actually changing the wheel itself is not too bad. We swap your switches across, but you've got some nice trim veneer covers to go over those. So that's reasonably straightforward. We will power the car down. So battery off, we'll give it 10 minutes or so for all the capacitors and stuff in the airbag systems and stuff to deploy and bleed down, and then remove the airbag first, and we'll put that to one side. We'll get the wheel swapped, switches swapped, then we'll do the tricky bit.
Okay. Good. Excellent. Right, I'll go and have a cup of tea.
Yeah, cool. All right, awesome. I'll find someone who's brave enough to do it.
That's why I came here, mate. And starting the work now. It's complicated. He's being helped by
the legend
that is the petrol pooch that's come with us today.
Snoozy.
She's really. You're
snoozing. You're checking, aren't you? Make sure we do it properly.
Yeah, I'm not sure Enzo is aware that he's got
competition.
He's got a girlfriend in the house. There you go. You're helping Uncle Darren, look.
Oh yeah. That's the pyrotechnic bit. There's all the rivets we've got to drill out in a minute.
Amazing, good.
Deep joy.
Airbag off.
Put that one up there so it doesn't...
So while Darren starts fitting the steering wheel, I've got actually the more difficult job, because I've got to pack these up like they were to send back to Sam, the ones that we're not using. And it's dead fiddly. It's a really difficult job, this, Darren.
Oh, have you got all your health and safety gear on?
Yeah.
Your PPE?
Yeah, I got my PPE on. Yeah. Oh my God. This is actually really... it's like the worst thing in the world when you're playing with cling film and it just keeps sticking to itself. Yes! And then they come with this like hairnet thing that kind of... a rim protector. Here we go, that's one, look at that. So there is my standard wheel off with the Boss including the airbag, and then the new wheel. So there's the new Boss with its lovely Alcantara finish. Carbon fibre. While Darren's playing with the airbag, I wanted to show you this little bee sting antenna that Sam sent me as well. I think that looks really smart. Please ignore the state of this paintwork. It is filthy. It's going to get a wash at the weekend. Also in the box for these little John Cooper Works seatbelt covers. Really smart. Set the car off really nicely. What do you think, Petrol Pooch? You chilling? Oh, we're going handheld for this one, mate. So what have you done?
Oh, I've unscrewed some stuff.
So this is my old wheel.
There's your old wheel. So what we've done is the first piece to come out is what most people would call the horn ring. This is one of the jobs of this is your contactor for when you press the horn button down.
Yeah.
Completes the circuit and makes a noise. It also contains this wire ring, which is what the airbag clips over and holds it to the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So when it deploys, it doesn't come off and take your face off.
Excellent.
And then after that, we've got a pair of screws that go through the back of the steering wheel into the backs of these switches, and this harness lays in behind this in a nice little recess inside the steering wheel.
Cool.
So we've pulled them out of your wheel. We're going to put them into this one.
Yep.
Screw all the trims in nicely in place, and go put it back on the car. So that's the first bit, and then after that we'll do the drilling the airbag.
Okay. And then once it's all on, then we test the airbag to see if the airbag goes off properly.
You can do that bit.
Okay. Right.
Right. Cool beans.
We didn't film the taking it apart bit because I don't particularly want people to go, oh, I'm going to follow that bit by bit.
It's okay to do, but it's important that you pay attention to what you're doing. You don't nick any cables. I mean, you are operating with a pyrotechnic charge over there. And as I was saying to you off camera a minute ago, I think a lot of people could do the nuts and bolts, screwing stuff together bit. It's if you get into difficulty, it's knowing how to get out of it without doing damage to things. That's probably the difference between having somebody do it that's done a few and someone who's having a go on their driveway at home.
Yeah.
As I say, I'm very much an advocate for people having a go themselves, but I think there are limits to everything.
Yeah.
Of course, my phone's ringing now. That's professional, isn't
Oh,
it?
mate. Robert Miles.
Children, absolutely right.
What
Tune.
a legend. What a tune.
It is a tune.
Copyright strike. Now your phone stopped ringing, I can keep on filming.
It's the professional edge you get when you come here. Oh, dear me. So, there we are. The wiring, you can almost see it. It's tucked in a nice little channel in there. You have to just push it in there fairly hard. And then our horn ring goes over the top. And basically, once that's all tight, that's ready to be screwed onto the steering column.
So there's no jokes about that ring giving you the horn then?
No, not on this occasion, mate, no.
No. Time to stick it on.
Oh, okay. Observe. Right down in there, I don't know if you can see it particularly well, there's a little scribed line which is telling you that there is a blind spline area inside the centre of the steering wheel.
Okay.
So the teeth, if you'd like to call them that,
Yeah.
are double width in one place.
Yeah.
Which means you cannot get the steering wheel on in the wrong position. It will only go in one place.
I was going to ask the question, how do you make sure it's in the right place?
So you wriggle it around. If I get it in the wrong spot like I have there, it won't go on. If we move it round a tooth, it
look
will
at that.
only go in one place. So they've been very helpful in that regard. Back in the day, you could pretty much put it wherever the hell you like, but that, you can't get it wrong.
Cool.
Yeah.
Maze balls. So now there's a screw in the middle.
Yeah, one
Or
big
nut,
bolt,
rather.
which we'll talk up in a minute. And there's a couple of wiring connectors. One's up here, and the other one is all part of the airbag system, which you connect up before you finally pop the airbag back in.
And then what we'll do, once it's on, we'll drop the roof. We didn't think about that before we disconnected the
You
power.
can see it a little better.
So after a little bit of ducking and a diving, tweaking, we can now reveal. So there we go. You can kind of see it's all tucked up inside.
It's a bag, which when inflated is full of air.
We're full of air with a big load of fireworks underneath it.
Yeah, gotta love fireworks. Yeah, not advisable to play around with it, kick it around your garden, put some voltage in it, see what happens. Don't do any of that, kids. That's dangerous. Yeah.
But the bit you were just saying, so the way it's connected, the way that is connected to the inside of that with these, there's quite a bit of work that needs to be done there.
Rivets in these holes which we've drilled out off camera, because I don't really want people suggesting we should be drilling. It's also located by some pins, and there's some clips and bits and pieces.
Yep.
And hard to see, but inside here there are pre-built imperfections.
Imperfections? Perforations?
No, perforations.
Imperfectations.
In order for when the bag deploys, it tears this cover off, and it wants to come out in two halves, and it has to break the airbag cover in a very specific place in order that it deploys correctly. And it is always worth checking your cover to make sure it's not a horrendous quality one, that the perforations are in the same place. Fortunately for us, these are pretty much the same. There's one across the top there, and then there's another failure point built into this piece here.
Failure point, that's a good name.
failure point.
Yeah, better than
So it can still deploy
better than
correctly.
imperfectations.
Imperfectations. Oh, my English is amazing.
So now you've got to sit that.
So I've got to get this one back over here,
inside that,
ever so carefully, and then line up all of our new holes and our little dimples here with the correct places.
And then they're going to use those AVEX rivets.
Bunch of aluminium rivets to pop it back together with.
Rock and roll. You're popping those rivets in the holes.
And just make sure they all want to line up for us.
Yeah, before you do the first one.
Before we actually start popping them in.
Yeah. Yeah, because those rivets are great, but they are a one-shot wonder, aren't they?
Yeah, and you have to start drilling them out again, and we don't want to do that. Top 4, pretty much there or thereabouts. Should we leave the spikes on?
Yeah, that looks quite cool, actually.
It's a bit Mad Max, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know whether it would actually fit on the steering wheel.
No, it wouldn't.
Like that, but no.
Right, so yeah, now we're happy with our placement, and that they are all in the right place. We'll pull them and pop them and get it back in the car. Woohoo!
So it's all back on, centre hub's back on. We're now just putting the little stick-on
trims,
carbon trims, and we've managed to take the JCW badge off my steering wheel and put that one on. Look at that.
Okay. So professional.
Right, now what we need to do is power the car back up, drop the roof,
and
you can see it properly.
And you can see it properly in the light of day.
Look at that. That looks absolutely mega. Now we dropped the roof so you've got a bit of better light so you can see it. So pleased with that. You've got the carbon detailing, you've got the red 12 o'clock stripe. And I've got no other carbon in the car, but actually it just sits really nicely. It brings your attention to it. I love that. As we can see, the petrol pooch is still hard at work. You alright there, dude? Yeah, you okay? Yeah.
Fucking end's missing off it.
Oh, that's broken. So, although this is the end of my steering wheel fitment video, while the car was here, I've had a brake warning light come on. I said, Darren, you couldn't just have a quick check, could you? And I assumed it was the front, but no, it's the back, and I've got it jacking the car up and fixing it in the background. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Now, I want to say a massive thank you to Sam at SMPS 2012. I will put all the details below for their steering wheels. This is my old one that's come off the car. The new one looks mega. I'm so pleased with it. It sits so nicely within the cockpit and really sets the car off. It's that final bit I needed, I think. What I would say is, if you have a mechanical background and you're used to spannering yourself and are pretty handy, then fitting a new steering wheel probably isn't a big challenge for you. I would, though, just recommend that if you're not of that mind, go to someone who is. Find a local mechanic like Darren, someone who knows what they're doing to help you, because it's not a difficult process. Having watched Darren do it, it's a relatively straightforward thing to do. However, and it's a big however, there are lots of things you need to kind of know what to do, and you need to know, like Darren said, if it goes wrong, what to do. And at the end of the day, you are dealing with a pyrotechnic device and, most importantly, a safety critical device on your car that you want to carry on working once you put your new steering wheel on. And I think the best way to do that is have someone who knows what they're doing fit it for you. But anyway, what else can we put on? What else should we put on Ruby Roadster, Darren?
What else should we put on?
What else should we put on?
Oh, I don't know. Projector seats?
Seats, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're talking. Anyway, put in the comments below what you think I should do next to Ruby Roadster. But if you enjoyed that, give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. I'm going to now use my huge mechanical prowess to help Darren. Yeah. What can I do, mate?
Put a kettle on.
Put a kettle on. Harsh.